Everybody, it's Invicta. It's time for another Eden Run here, the Binding of Isaac Victor Repentance Plus series. Happy Thursday, Mosh Pit. We are only 7 away from Hush Delirium Week from making it happen. Thank you again, everyone, for the support. Remember, if you want to see it happen sooner than later, click the like button. You all know the score by now. Also, hope you had a fantastic start to the brand new weekend. Can you believe it's already Thursday? Like, tomorrow is Friday, and then we are officially on the weekend. Thursday's always been kind of the new Friday. Anyway, I digress. Here's your meme of the day brought to you on this Invicta subreddit. Tile thread was how episode 138 felt. And then in the thread, they wrote, Lil Dumpy really working hard to keep Sin and the Mosh Pit safe on yesterday's episode. Yeah. I honestly, chat called me out for not giving more credit where credit was due for Lil Dumpy in that episode. And honestly, I agree with that. Lil Dumpy was an MVP. Thank you very much, the Russ. CJ is going to be Northern Lion 0 Lions 14 Quebec Easlings. I don't know. Well, we got Daddy Longleg. Our tiers are not terrible, but our damage is. We also have the clicker, which is yeah, not an item that we're going to be using, as I do not like the clicker at all. And, you know, whenever we get to a spot in an Eden run, regardless if it's the very beginning of a run or the very end of a run, and I mention an item that we don't like, automatically now, it's like everyone's just like, it could be a Judging of Isaac episode. I'm like, yeah, it could, but there's so many items that kind of fit that criteria of this is an item I don't like, but maybe I could. But the clicker is one of those ones that's just flat out dangerous. So if you don't know what the clicker is, by the way, we'll switch Isaac between one of any of his character forms. So it's, you know, if you really needed like a character that had like red hearts, you can you could swap into Maggie, or you could turn into like Samson or someone like that. But the problem is that you can also turn into the Lost with no Holy Mantle, which is usually the biggest problem there. And then you're just insta-gibbed. And no, you don't get it back because you technically didn't start as the Lost. So, also, we need to stop taking damage here. We only have 1 HP. Movement speed is not great. Yeah, we got to lock in here. So I'm glad that we have Daddy Longlegs. He's gonna help us out, deal a pretty good amount of damage. Okay, he got the Mullaboons, which is the biggest thing. The problem is right now that we also cannot get hit by this champion Mullaboon, who's trying to juke me out of house and home here. Tinted rock, but he just missed it, man. I thought he was close enough for that. Yeah, we're not take pills crazy yet, but we'll see. We got ourselves Limehorn. Little Horn shouldn't be too much of a problem here with Daddy. Daddy Longlegs is just going to stomp down on enemies, and he does a very good amount of damage to everything, especially in the early game. Mid game's kind of where he falls off, but early game, Daddy Longlegs can carry you pretty hard, and we just kind of let him do his thing. You see that shadow just floating around, trying to figure out where Limehorn's going, and you and me both, Daddy Longlegs. The regular old range upgrade, and hoo boy, here we go. So we got last week's question of the episode. This one coming in from the best way to start episode, which of course was a Sissy start, and everyone knew it and loves it. And it was a very popular episode because it was our girl Sissy. And in that comment section, this one was written by YouTube Mosh Pit member Hansi7, who said, question of the episode, if you could make your own champion in the game, what would it look like? What would its specials be? And what would it drop, if anything? I think that if I had my own champion, like I'm going to assume that they mean a mini boss, not like just a type of champion mob. I would have like a, you know, it would be the Invicta, you know, the jumpsuit with the red tie and the flaming skull and all that kind of good stuff. It would do very similar attacks to probably like Min Min. It'd be like a combination between Min Min and the Heretic. So it'd be a very, very strong mini boss, or maybe just even a boss. That also shoots out like death scythes and stuff. So it'd be a fairly complex fight. Nothing too crazy though. And then I think that for a special, oh you jerk. Oh, Daddy with the save. Thank you, Daddy. I think that with it would have a chance, obviously, to drop a regular boss item and everything, or mini boss item, whatever. But also it could drop a unique item, and it would be a melee. It would be a melee weapon, and it would be a direct reference to my Path of Exile 1. I guess I have to specify nowadays. Path of Exile 1 unique weapon, the axe, Invictus Metal. And then it turns to, like, you know, it basically gives you special melee abilities and that sort of thing. It'd be like be like Spirit Sword, only better and more metal. You just call him Sin. You just call him Sin. I think that'd be pretty on point. All right, we gotta dial in here because we're not in a good spot. The range upgrade really sucks. I would have much rather just had a regular HP upgrade than just range, or anything that gave us a soul heart. And yeah, Crack the Skizzle is going to be very nice. Again, though, it doesn't solve our problem with mobility and does not solve our problem with survivability. It just simply solves a little bit of an issue, which is a boss killing ability, which we do now have. I mean, Daddy Longlegs did the heavy lifting there against Limehorn, but Crack the Sky will be universally used, and we don't even have to use it in boss rooms if we don't want to. Now, obviously, we want to get a bomb because we got to get that tinted rock, but we can't do that if we don't get a bomb. It's quite simple. Very clutch Hierophant card here. Let's go. Crack the Skizzle doing that, and unfortunately, we did not get HP upgrade, and yeah, we're kind of stuck right now. I'm just noticing over here. This is not the question of the episode. This is just a follow because it happens to be right under Hansi's question. Clausarian 3783 says, first, thanks for the trailer and the interview with Edmund about Mugenics, and the trailer and the interview were awesome. Question of the episode: with the impending release of Mugenics, how will possible daily Mugenics episodes be structured? Then it keeps on going, but that's the gist of the question. So for Mugenics, I think that we're gonna have to run it like Darkest Dungeon, where we had a set list of characters, and you know, we would do a run or two depending on the episode length, and then just cut it there. Like we go back to the house or the kitty litter or whatever the heck Edmund's gonna call it, and then regroup and then get ready for the next episode. So I'm sure there's gonna be all kinds of overarching story arcs and emergent storylines and stuff like that. So yeah, it's probably going to be, I'm guessing, probably 30 to 40 minutes per episode per day of Mugenics, and I think that's probably good. Like my content here has been catered by the algorithm to favor long form content, as everybody knows. You know, these Isaac episodes run anywhere from 30 minutes upwards of an hour, sometimes 3 hours. This is not where I want to be here. So I think that we're gonna stick with that formula for now. But again, the Mosh Pit runs everything here, so we'll see. It's not just about what I would like to see. I do take everyone's, as much as I can, everyone's opinions into account. And feedback on that would be greatly appreciated as well, because right now, as of now, at the time of this record, we have no idea how the game is going to be structured. I mean, runs can be just simply like, well, as Ed said in the interview, runs can be a long time. Like he's got that 200-hour run that he's in right now, but the stages, I don't know how long the stages last. I mean, typically, I'm gonna be honest, I don't like tactics games all that much because they make me think way too hard, and I'm not good at thinking sometimes. I'm better at reacting, not thinking. And for tactics games, from what very little tactics games that I have played, I know that they usually, like, every stage can take as little as a minute or two and upwards of like maybe 10 or 15. So if that's the case, then we'll reevaluate once we get there. I know our item room is not going to be over here, but let's go beat the boss anyway first. This is where the super secret room is, guaranteed, pretty much. Soul Hearts here would be nice, but instead we just get our typical troll bombs. So we have perfect timing here for Crack the Skizzle. And we'll use it on the boss, which I'm going to predict is going to be Forsaken. Or Gertie. Or Gertie Jr. Yeah, we just don't even give her a chance to move. We get a huge upgrade there with growth hormones, and we also get the mind as well. Yo mama. Not yo mama. I'm just saying yo, comma, mama. Also, a very weird spot for the regular secret room too. So we are able to get full mapping, which is fantastic for us. Really stoked that we have this level of mapping here early on too. So that's going to help cut down on the riffraff and also, of course, keep us safer. As asinine as that may sound, the mapping does play a big part in it. They're talking about going to rooms where you don't have to go into, knowing exactly where the bosses are, being able to plan out our charges, our full charges. That's something we've run into this week, actually. You know, all of that is to keep you safe. Now, of course, that doesn't mean that you're immune to damage. It just means that you're trying to stay safe as much as you can. That's a one that makes you larger pill. We get Sci-Fly. Speaking of keeping us safe. Sci-Fly. We could go into the mob trap room. I'm not going to do it. Could go, I mean, I guess try to bomb for a skull, but I think that's a little bit, I think you're wishful thinking here. I think we just go to the next floor. We've already got we got the mine. That's going to be the biggest pickup so far, and growth hormones is absolutely huge as well. Growth hormones will give us the movement speed and damage that we really needed. We still need tears, though. Our tears rate is doo-doo. I know I said that in the beginning of this episode that our tears rate was not bad. It's not bad, but it's not good. 2.48 is significantly lower than the base Isaac tears rate, and you wouldn't think that the difference between 2.7 and 2.4 is 2.48 is big, but you got to remember this is how many attacks you have per second. So you really want the highest tears rate as possible. Duh. That's what increases your DPS. See how that works? Damage per second. People have dunked on me for calling it DPS in a game like Isaac, and you know what? I don't care. Ooh, hushy. Yeah, that's the thing we got to be careful about, not being able to control outgoing damage, things that fly around, things that explode, anything that can detonate right in our faces because of Daddy Longlegs, or even now, Little Hushy is a significant threat. Game is trying to flex on us here. Whenever I say that, by the way, I mean the game is pulling off some combo BS-ery with the spawning and the instant shots and the, oh, this mob's gonna make him go this way, so we're gonna spawn behind him and then do this attack, thereby making it undodgeable. Like, that's what I mean by when the game is trying to flex on us. People are slightly confused about that. I would use Crack the Sky, but we're about to fight the boss. Daddy Longlegs should be able to take out Greed. Sci-Fly going ham here. There's a 0% chance. Well, I guess it was technically a non-0% chance that we make that we make boss rush, but I don't see it happening. So we have kind of a decision to make here. Are we going to go into the boss trap room? Oh, that was neat. We're going to go into the boss trap room, or are we just going, like, we would have to, that would allow us to go into the curse room, but we don't know what we're going to get out of the boss trap room. You can only go into the boss trap room if we have 1 HP or lower, and so it's a danger. Get a range and tier size upgrade. All right. We're gonna go into the boss trap room. We might as well. I mean, we have to take drastic measures here. Like, we're going down to depths 1, and we have received 0 tears ups. There can be tears ups inside of the boss trap room. Normally there's not, but sometimes there is. And originally I was going to just go into the curse room. I was clearing these rooms so we get ourselves a full charge, but I think the game's gonna do it for us. Make no mistake about it, this is bad. We are in a very bad spot here. Getting ineffective ineffective stat upgrades from the bosses is the worst. Okay, we get a golden heart, which is going to give us some money once we break this heart, which we're going to have to. Only thing now is that we can't go into the curse room because we'd be leaving out of there with 1/2 of a soul heart, and I don't want to do that. I only want one soul heart. There we go. So I deliberately stood there. We break the golden heart. Again, this is a risk. But this is the whole reason why I wanted to make sure that we had Crack the Sky available. Was because we pretty much have to do this. We're hoping for a Tears Up in here. It's not a Tears Up, but it's a significant damage up here with Synth Oil. Oh, you jerk. Okay, we were able to get him. It should be Frail, I believe. Black Champion Frail is not the Frail I wanted to see. Need Daddy to really dunk him. If we can get a bomb, that would be ideal. Lifefly doing a great job. Well, the Gambit didn't pay off, even though we are 2 of 3 for Spun. Yeah, we're not good here. I think we got to make a beeline for the shop and hope that there's a soul heart and not a greed fight in there. This is a huge floor. I don't know what that schmoob was there. Not everyone saw that. Okay, we get bombs. Bombs are going to allow us to go into the secret room. Got to win this one room at a time. And that's the stage that we're at. Get restock now, which that's huge for us because at least we can pick up some soul hearts here just to get out of harm's way. So a half-price restock of all things helping us out. I use Crack the Sky in here just because shouldn't be too much of a problem, although Daddy Longlegs is apparently blind. Thank you, little Hushy. I don't know about little Hushy shooting off shots like that just on his own accord. I mean, we control when he shoots, but parking him next to barrels and stuff is a little bit scary. And we have to park him because he can't. In order for us to fire, we have to hold down the fire button. And whenever we hold down the fire button, little Hushy starts firing. Hence the fire. I'm gonna check the curse room here. Yeah. Curse rooms are just not worth it. Not worth it. So let's hope that we get some kind of significant damage upgrade. And by damage upgrade, I mean a Tears upgrade. The DPS upgrade is what we truly, desperately are in need of right now. Hope you all have a good amount of plans for Easter Sunday coming up. For those of you who celebrate it. I saw a double tinted rock. I did not. That's an Algiz rune. The Algiz rune we can use in case of extreme emergency. Again, another very weird spot for the secret room. You get our nickel back, so if we might be able to go get Sackhead. Watch the spikes in here. That was a bad angle to dodge that at. It would have been better if we just went to the right. Clown Physics plus Little Hushy's shots could have moved that dingle up towards us, and that would have been bad. My right foot is spasming right now, and I don't like it. Like it's like the bridge of my right foot is like it's like. So this would normally be an awful fight for us, but we have Daddy Longlegs, and we also have Crack the Sky. I'm not gonna use Crack the Sky until Mask of Infamy morphs, or merges, or whatever you want to call it, absorbs the heart. And Crack the Sky missed entirely. So one thing that Crack the Sky definitely has a big problem with is hitting mobile targets, but thankfully Daddy Longlegs can still do his job here. And yeah, thank God we got Daddy, because man, we'd be in Sadville territory right now. Lover's card, which is not going to do anything for us, and yep. Oof. Curse the Unknown. I don't want to go fight the mini boss unless if I have a full charge on Crack the Sky. Now you may think that we're playing this a little bit too conservative, but I don't know what run you've been watching, but this is something we've got to do. Now Mom is right there. If the Fool card is, and the Fool card is here, so that non-zero chance of boss rush is starting to come to fruition. If we manage to get boss rush here, that could potentially be a huge turnaround for us. I'm gonna grab the Fool card, but now we have to make it to Mom and beat her before 20 minutes is up. Yeah, we get a give me here. That's nice. This one's not gonna be a gimme. We have to wait for the hands and also the egglets, of course. Thankfully, it's just the skeleton hands, and unlike greed mode, you can just dodge them by going to the spikes, or going to the spaces. I mean. Yeah, we're gonna have about a minute and a half to beat Mom, go into the boss rush, and possibly even the devil deal. Another problem is that we don't know how much HP we have, so good damage there by Crack the Sky. But this is our real damage now. We have less than a minute essentially. Firefly doing a good job. Of course, we spawned a host. It's getting ridiculous in here. Okay. Got an angel deal. It's gonna be Genesis. I will take Genesis over Crack the Sky. And these don't matter. Oh boy, okay. So now the question becomes, how much HP do we have, and when do we use Genesis? We want to try to get as many items as we can before we rip it. We absolutely have to rip Genesis on this run. It is a full character reroll, including our stats, so this is vital. That was one full soul heart of damage. I have no clue how much HP we have or don't have left. But getting boss rush was actually pretty... It was pretty okay. I mean, we got it's made even better because we got Genesis now, right? So we got an extra item that we normally would not have gotten had I not gotten boss rush. Is what I mean. This room is an absolute nightmare. I'm just gonna let Daddy handle this. Always trust in Daddy. Oh my God, there's another one. All right. Okay, let's go. I guess I should be thankful it wasn't Curse the Blind, but this is the reason why I'm hesitating on Genesis, is because we have the Mind. And the Mind is exceedingly important in safety, but there's more potential upside to us Genesising than not. And the Mind, even though it's an extremely important item, for safety, it does not change the fact that we haven't had a single Tears Up for this entire run. We have 18 cents, so if there's a half-price item in there, we could potentially afford a couple of extra items that we can then Genesis with. Yeah. Or not. I mean, this isn't even worth I guess we can use Pandora's box to give us money, I suppose. A booster pack. Honestly, booster pack might be... No, I'm not. I'm just going to bomb the donation machine. Okay, so booster pack might be nice because it could give us an Emperor card. It didn't. It gives a Sun card and a World card.
Ace of spades.
Yeah, we'll take the Sun card. Grab some keys, even though none of this matters. So, when do we use Genesis? Honestly, the best use of Genesis is to skip Isaac. But this is all going to depend on how much HP we actually have. And we may need to rip Genesis on like Womb 1 or even Womb 2. But all we're doing is accelerating the rate that we go fight Isaac, so... And that's not necessarily what we want. If anything, we want to skip Isaac on a run like this. We do have Kidney Stone and still Daddy, so we're not defenseless, but we're not offensive either. And we still have the mine, so we've got a little bit of extra help. One thing is for certain, though, we are absolutely going to rip Genesis. The red Kizzle. We could potentially go into the boss trap or the mini boss fight, which might give us spun, which would be nice as well. This tears rate is just bad. I know it seems silly to be like, well, you said that the tears rate wasn't that bad at the beginning, but now why are you saying it's bad? It's all about where you are in the game. And this having a tears rate of 2.48, a damage of 5.72, and we're on Womb 1, that's considerably worse than if we were on floor 1 and just starting a run. So that's what I mean. That's the distinction there. It's like, yeah, the stat hasn't changed. What in the clown physics was... That is the most ridiculous 2 shots I have ever seen in this game. That is unbelievable, dude. That is absolutely absurd. I'm gonna rip it. I cannot believe that. We have Holy Mantle here. I am not hitting this red chest for anything because it could potentially teleport us out. I'm so mad that statue hit us, dude. That is ridiculous. We got Zodiac, we got Robo Baby, and Tiny Toma. Robo Baby 2.0 is not terrible here. We've got, we already have a better tears rate than we had in that entire last run. I'm going to take Robo Baby for the consistent DPS. I guess. Pay to win. Definitely need some HP. Get the mine back, at least. Ooh. Man. Ooh. Sumptorium, man. I'm going to take Lead Pencil, and here's the reason why. Before you get mad at me, Sumptorium is the correct play here, but we are in the Genesis room. It is very likely and very possible that we find another pedestal, another 3 item pedestals that have nothing but active items, thereby making Sumptorium completely useless. So at least we can't lose Lead Pencil here. Lazarus's Rags does give us an extra life, but it's not as good as having the damage of Lead Pencil, in my opinion. We need damage too. Okay, this gets us a range up. I guess more damage. Key. Are we really going to need Mom's Key at this point? I think that we go with deck of cards, to be honest. Old Bandage is great. Need a Tears Up there. Take Common Cold. This is just all bad. Speedball is I mean, I do want more movement. I do want more HP, but we need some movement speed here. Get Black Candle, okay. There's some more movement speed. Our shot speed's okay. It's more movement speed here. PH Dizzle. That's it.
Range.
Pretty fly. Health up. And we also got Friends Till the End. Okay. I would say that our chances have significantly increased here because of Holy Mantle. We maintained the Mind, which is unbelievable to me, and now we have PhD, so we can make up some other lost stats. We have more damage than we had. We have Lead Pencil. We've got the deck of cards, which could potentially get us an Emperor card. I think that we're much stronger now. Okay. We don't have Daddy Long Legs anymore. Got to remember that. But we have the Tears Rate to keep up, and we also have the Super Ball, which is like it's kind of like a poor man's Rubber Cement in a way. The thing that I'm really mad about is the fact that we didn't get to skip to Isaac, or skip Isaac. I mean, we have to go. Now we have to go through everything, so we didn't really gain any value out of skipping a floor. Because of that turret shot. Loving our movement speed. Our Tears Rate is not the best, but it's also way better than it was. We can go to the Curse Room for free thanks to Holy Mantle. Holy Mantle is the biggest pickup here for us. We have a Stars card, so we're going to use that in the Cathedral and hopefully get taken closer to Isaac anyway. We do not have Sci-Fly anymore, obviously. Or do we have Kidney Stone? I think we just hold on to the Stars card until we get to the Cathedral. We'll rip another card here from a deck of cards. Because we don't want to use it now and then have a good card, but then we leave it behind. So, Soul Heart, big clutch Soul Heart there. I stand by the idea that the reason why we didn't take Sumptorium, Lead Pencil is just going to be better. If we could have guaranteed that we wouldn't have found a triple active item room or roll in Genesis, then absolutely I think that you take Sumptorium there, especially with how many HP upgrades that we were getting. Like imagine Sumptorium in that womb room that we just saw with all the red hearts. That's what I'm talking about. So like that's the trade-off that we just had to make, and I stand by the idea of not taking it there as much as I wanted to. Sometimes you gotta make tough decisions in Isaac, and that was definitely a tough one. There's no way they're going to be able to guarantee Death's List, honestly. I'll take it only because we can afford to give up HP because we have the Holy Mantle. All right, so we're going to rip the Stars card, and we got taken to the absolute worst possible place. Could not have... We could have done one worse. So, thank you, Stars card. Somehow, some way, we actually are going to get a Deathless payout out of this room, of all things. We get a Soul Heart back, okay. It wasn't all gloom and doom. So the end, I'm hoping we just get an Emperor card here, either from deck of cards or from death Death List. I'm not gonna do this. We have the luxury of knowing exactly where we need to go, so I'm gonna exercise that advantage. A speed upgrade too. Death List, I tell you what. No. A shot speed up too, man. Death List is coming to play today. He's still alive. There's no way that we get Death List here to pay out because we have a mob that spawns other mobs. So yeah, forget that. Something's wrong. Strength card we can use for an emergency HP heal if we need it. Oh, there you go. There you go. Robo Baby 2.0 doing work. We can't do that. We can't identify the card by walking through it. I would have wanted to see what this card is. So let's not use external information mod to cheat here. The Hangman card, walk out, walk back in, get the strength card because that's more important here. Okay. Yeah, that is something that we cannot do. We cannot use the external information mod to identify a card without taking the risk of going and picking it up. So that is not allowed. Doing a good job at getting these Death List payouts, I gotta say. Nice Magician card pickup here, the combo play with the Strength card. Gonna really help out our shot efficiency, which ups our damage. Our damage uptime on the target. So at the end of the day, the Genesis pickup was pretty significant. We got a huge reroll that we needed, and I think that without Genesis, it'd be a very, very different story on this run. Andy Hart's very nice here. Kidney Bean is not terrible, but it's not deck of cards though. I mean, we can effectively end this run with deck of cards if we get the right card. Now, the reason why Death List stopped paying out there, or at least the indicator went away, is because we got rid of all the Dark Matter balls, which in Death List mind means that, well, we killed things out of order. How that makes sense? It doesn't. So this is not a room where we want to be in, let alone try to go for Death List. There's just way too many factors here. We're just trying to get out here taking minimal damage. I mean, preferably no damage if possible, but excuse me? Super Greed fight. At least this is going to give us an extra charge. One charge closer to the edge, and I'm about to break. One charge closer to the Emperor card, which, let's see forever.
I can see forever.
Mega Fatty is not the danger in here. It's actually the Fat Isaacs first. You got to kill them before you deal with Mega Fatty. As silly as that may seem, you got to remember those are walking zones that you are not able to pass, and they take up quite a large portion of this room, and they can cut you off very, very quickly. Remember, they're always gravitating towards Isaac, so you want to kill them so you have maximum mobility inside of this room. Where are we going, dude? What are you doing? Let's lock in. You've got the mind. What are you looking at right now? This ain't the time to be on autopilot. What are we doing here? Let's lock in here. This is ridiculous. This is a totally unnecessary, unneeded room. Judgment here. I will just take just a regular basic HP upgrade is all I want. We don't need Luckfoot. We've already got PhD game. This is definitely a doable Deathless payout room here. I don't know how that Wrath lived that long. This is not a doable Deathless payout run room here. It's one of those rooms that we're lucky if we don't get hit. I also don't know how Super Pride is still alive. There we go. Slowly but surely we're making it here. Now, if we did end up taking damage, we could potentially get some stat farm out of getting these red hearts thanks to Candy Heart, but I'm not going to risk that. Entire run has felt like one that's just been ultra cursed. Do not have the Holy Mantle for this right now. This is an awful room. You get a soul heart out of that. Definitely earned it. Fully locked in right now. Ooh. All right. We should have really cleared one more room to get a payout on deck of cards here. This is not automatic. I want to make that clear. This is not an automatic win here. There goes our Holy Mantle. We do not have the Polaroid invincibility. We don't have Daddy Longlegs. We got Birdcage. Win our Soul Heart. This one could very easily get away from us. Oh, Robo Baby, get in there. Brought you in for a reason, son. Got a nice little crossfire going. Birdcage still doing his thing. Loving the range here. I don't think we saw a single trinket in this entire run, did we? Quick shot. The Blue Baby can do. It would have been a Hierophant card. So yeah, that would have been a little bit help to calm the nerves. What was the stat up that we would have gotten here at Candy Heart? A damage and range up. Yeah, that would have been nice, but ooh, that was not a comfortable run, I gotta say. It was decidedly uncomfortable, but we did make it through thanks a large in part to Holy Mantle by way of Genesis, and of course having the mind helped out a great deal. And shout out to Daddy Longlegs, and Yeah, co-MVP kind of, I guess, goes to Crack the Sky, but Genesis really was the play there, and I stick by the choices that we made. But let me know in the comments down below, if you were in that position with this run that we had up until that point, what would you have taken with the item pedestals in Genesis? Post them in the comments down below, everybody. Again, thank you all so much for the support. Make sure you click the like button, ring the notification bell if you haven't already to get notified sometimes when the videos go live. I don't know what's going on with YouTube. And thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing. Have a great Thursday, and I will see you all next time. Until then, so long, everybody. Thanks for watching this video. Like thanks to patrons of mine like Andrew Fluitt, Alyssa, and Missy. If you'd like to have your name read at the end of an Isaac episode, check out my Patreon campaign, which you can find at patreon.com/Invicta.